Welcome to the video. Now, you as a brand have been shared and tagged in this video by one of my followers, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. You see, I've been doing this for 14 years. My name is Dustin Apple, and my hashtag is White River Rambo. If you search White River Rambo, you're going to be covered up in content. Now, some of it's a little dry, guy humor. Some of it's, just a little informational content about boating and bow fishing and archery and hunting and saddle hunting and deer hunting and turkey hunting and electrical and trailer builds, and I've done a lot of things on this channel, all providing content for the sportsman. Now, my followers have tagged you because this build means the world to me. I'm building this boat for my wife, and I've never done this before, but I'm seeking sponsorships. My followers have shared this video and tagged you in it because the slate's clean. Now, I hope you watch the entire playlist and I hope you get a feel about what we're doing here, but this little boat's gonna do all kinds of stuff. Not only create content on multiple genres, but it's gonna be at the local sandbar, at the local crappie hole, when the bluegills get on bed. It's just gonna put hours in. When we need to get away for the weekend, it's gonna be in tow. I cross state lines all the time. I just did it a couple days ago, actually, going down to Mississippi on a turkey hunt. And in the back of my mind, I was finding properties that I definitely could have run this little jet boat up. In the foreseeable future, this boat is going to be a part of our family. And if you would like to be part of our family in the way of sponsorship, I welcome you to hit me up on email, whiteriverrambo@hotmail.com, and let me know you enjoyed my content. Now let's get into today's video. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dustin Apple, hashtag White River Rambo, and this is a 1652 G3 jet tunnel conversion. Welcome to episode 6, is it? Episode 7. Okay, yeah, I realize I already been to Mississippi, and I spent a little time down there chasing thunder chickens. Didn't pan out 100%. Got a shot at one, and then I had a malfunction. And anyway, if you followed me, you got to see some of that content. We had a really good time. And I'll probably go back at some point, but my head just got the best of me, and work was piling up here at the shop, so I only put in 5 days, and I figured it's time to come home. So let's get started in episode 7. Anyway, we're about ready to start on the console. Let's take a little walk around if you've not been here before. I kind of framed these out the other day, and now they're semi-done. Okay, I got them boxed in and a little lid there, and I decided to make a floor and a side, and then as you can see we got a little bit of a gap here, but I'm going to use channel to rivet this to that firewall, and then I made this wall longer that hangs over the rib, so it'll rivet here and then it'll rivet there, because my entire subfloor will actually go underneath it. Anyway, not exactly how I had planned it, but that's how it turned out, and kind of just make it happen. So I think it's going to work out really well. Got cubby holes on both sides that should be watertight, and well, this is the area that we have to work with to create a console. Now, this is the only post I had. I have a shorter post ordered because, well, you know how these are, right? By the time you put a post under them, they're way too long. I just found out that they make a 6-inch post. Everything I have is 11 to 16, but anyway, the reason I bring that up is the chair the corner can hang over this bulkhead. But I absolutely want my console angled back. It's going to have to angle back and then go up, because I have some very special things that have to go on a vertical wall that are going to shine that away really hard and really far. So I gotta get that going. This is not exactly how I intended to make this, but this is only 80 thousandths. So I'm going to have to make sure that my console goes all the way to the floor, and then it'll rivet to that. And I think it'll be just fine. But it's going to be a funky console now. Now, another thing that I was going to do, and I probably still am, this area right here. I don't know if I'm making storage hatches on either side, because I'm thinking about making a storage hatch that opens up right in the middle of the console. Granted, the bottom of the console won't go all the way to the floor. It's going to go at an angle. So if there's a door there that opens down this way that I could reach in there and get to my batteries, in theory, that would be just fine. Now comes the time where I have to make theory reality. let's get started. So we got our bulkhead here, and this is 1x2 right here. And then we have our seat base up here, and then our seat. I need to measure this, but let's just say our seat goes over about that far. So I want the bottom of this console to start down here and go up and then kind of taper out like that. And there's a reason for that. I have a speaker that's coming, and that speaker is round, and it will be the width of the console. Okay. Now back here, I can go on top here just fine, but I need to go out at an angle and then come up however far I need to come up. Probably from here to here, probably 20 inches or so. And then I'm gonna have a flat top on it and down like this. I might actually have something like that, and then we'll have a windshield. Okay. And then I am a big fan of the G3 grab bar, so I'm going to make a grab bar that goes around here like this on both sides. And it needs to look something like that. Now the question is, how do I fab this? There's no straight edges on the bottom or the top. So maybe I just cut two sides and then make a top piece. I don't know. It's going to be kind of complicated. Well, and just like that, we have a profile. I'll admit, I screwed this up to begin with. I cut, and I did not like it. As you can see, that was set way back there. And this was set another 6 inches back, more or less. I don't hate it. A little thicker than I'd like. I wanted it thin, but this will definitely give me room here, just to get in and out of the seat more. Now the reason why that post is there is, if you remember right, the fuel cell's here, and this is going to be riveted into place to where if I ever have to take the fuel cell out, it can be, undone. So by doing 1.5 inches here and 1x2 here, that's going to be the strongest part of the front deck. So that's kind of where that had to be. And then obviously you got to have room up here, right? So you run out of foot space pretty quickly, but we got Ulterra going there. We got our winch for our anchor going to go right there. And then somewhere in here, I'm going to mount a graph. So I'm going to run out of foot space there pretty quickly, but this is going to be a very narrow console. I mount my driving lights right here up underneath the top, about right there. Be perfect for that. So what I may do is come in here and notch this to where I have a flat spot, and then create a contour in there where I can mount my driving lights. I don't mind that it's swept back. Don't mind it at all, actually. Just gonna be part of it. So definitely gotta square that top up. I got too much angle that way. I think I'm gonna leave it tall. I really do. Well, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Good morning. Psych. It's actually afternoon. Just got back from the Bass Pro Shops, taking advantage of their last sale day for electronics, and I'm not going to tell you what that is yet, but we're going to be able to see down in the bushes. Now, you remember the profile that we had just a few minutes ago, but the front of my console is at an angle. And I said I was going to notch out where my driving lights are going to sit and square it off. Not going to do that anymore. The reason I'm not going to do that anymore is because the windshield that I bought is 15 inches. And for me to mount my lights, I need 18 inches to be able to get in between the two of them, to be able to get an Allen in there to adjust them. So I'm going to mount them in front of the windshield. And, well, that may seem a little weird until you see what's going on in here. But right now, here's what my driving lights look like. Anyway, right here, okay, these are 100 waters, Aux Beam USA, and they're going to look fire. but I'm tapering the console from the top to the bottom. So here's what we've done. Here's the piece that we broke. Now this is 100 thousandths aluminum. I started by bending this 1/2 inch tab along the side, okay, and then making this profile. Now obviously on a pan brake it's very hard to do, but there's a reason why I'm doing it. If I can flip this up with one hand. That profile right there, that's what I'm going for. Full contact is going to be just an easy lay bead, and I'll take that out and it'll just look beautiful. Also gives it quite a bit of edge strength in that corner like that. I am a little concerned having this big, tall console, whether it, having a little bit of play to it, and I don't want that. I want this thing to be sturdy. I want you to be able to fall onto it, grab onto the grab bar, and get the rodeo on if you need to. So here's what we're doing, man. We got this the secondary piece lined up right here, and all I'm going to do is, if it won't stick to my t-shirt, I'm going to lay that down right there like that, and then MIG weld that out, stitch it around there, and then we can flip it over and TIG weld the outside. Now you can see how wild that's going to be already. So I can't wait to see what you get to see about 10 minutes from now, but more likely it's going to cost me about another 3 hours. So let's get busy. All right, so here we go. This top I want to extend on 4 inches because I want to mount my lights either under it or on top of it. So from there to there, like we only got 7, but I'm going to make it 11. And then we've got 26. So I've cut a piece that is 1.5 inches wider than I need and 1.5 inches longer than I need. And we're going to go over to the pan brake and we're going to make these edges not come out flat, but we're going to make them wrap around 3/4 of an inch all the way around there. That way I can make this just snap fit and then go underneath and then weld and weld and weld and weld all the way around here so there's no welds on the top, and just make a nice clean console. Let's get it. All right, just like that, we've got everything notched out, measured precisely. Hopefully we hit the mark, and let's go on over to the pan brake and see what happens. This down here is going to be interesting for sure. Well, screwed up. Ain't no two ways about it. I screwed up. I mismeasured, notched it and everything. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and bend it, and then we'll fill it in with a patch panel. It sucks, but that's what's got to happen. Now this is 82 degrees. It's not quite 90. So we're just going to come up short a little bit, not press it all the way. And I think we'll just have to make it work. Oh man, that's ugly. somewhere about there. That's down here center.
Yep.
A little bigger than I wanted in my mind, but in the grand scheme of things, as much stuff as I'm going to put on it, I think it'll work. Definitely give me clearance there. Try to do that one-handed.
Got it.
So, okay, and then all the way up. Yeah, I think that's got me plenty of clearance. So doing this gives me the ability to put my lights underneath or on top. We'll get that windshield out here in a minute. Now the windshield should be very close to this angle, and it's only 6-inch wings. Obviously, I'm not really going to sit down, but I put that there just in case I wanted to look over top of it and kind of give you the feel there. I'm not crazy about this gap on either side, but I also didn't want to run it all the way up to it or feel like I had to make a wide enough console to fill that gap. Right now we're 20 inches underneath here, 21 inches I think. And that's plenty to be able to make a hatch through there to this space. So pretty much final answer, I'm going to cover this up. It's just going to be a cubby hole. It's kind of like everything. Cubby hole, cubby hole, cubby hole, cubby hole. I don't know. I'm liking it. I'm feeling it. What do you think, Jones?
I like it. Like you, it's a little, when you said tiny console, I didn't know.
I mean,
It's
I
still
can
small.
I can go smaller, but
When you said tiny, I didn't know.
when I bought a 15-inch windshield, I was like, man, that's tiny, right?
Yeah.
Because I've done 36-inch windshields before, but in a 1652, it almost looks just right.
I think it was good.
You know, I got plenty of room there for all kinds of stuff, but
Handhold and your stuff.
yeah, I'll definitely be putting grab bar around it. Just throwing it up there, it looks like it's fairly square to the boat, so I won't have to do any tweaking, I don't think. The next thing is the stereo system, and it won't be here for a day or two, but it's got to be down here. I need to be able to touch it, so I might actually be coping this on either side, which won't be a terribly big deal. But if I can cope this on either side with like some heavy bar and make it a mounting tab to where my stereo is right here, I think that's probably going to be best. Everything has to flow. It can't be an afterthought. That's what irks me about bolting on accessories. So, Jones, what do you think? So our Garmin that we just bought, do you think that it has to mount here, or do you think that if I buy one of those poles, those upright poles, that if it's mounted right here, just inside the trolling motor, mounted right here about this high,
Yeah.
I think that would be double function. You're about 3 foot away from it. You won't be able to touch it while you're driving, but if it's on GPS mode,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
With a 9-inch, we definitely can do double cradles, do a cradle here and then do a cradle there for live scope, but I don't know how much we'll need GPS. Of course, you always got GPS on your phone.
No.
No, not always. You're right.
No, sometimes you go places where there's no GPS.
You're absolutely right. Download the OnX before you leave the dock. So now's when I want you to share the video. Now this is very important. Follow me closely. Down here at the bottom, there is a little arrow. Click on that arrow. And when the share thing comes up, share it to Facebook. Okay? Share it to your timeline, and then go in and click on it again and share it to your favorite fishing group. But when you're posting, you can @ companies, okay? @ Garmin, @ Pro Guide Batteries, @ Minn Kota, @ Yamaha Outboards, @ Black Tip, HydroTurf, Marine Mat, SeaDeck, @ InDesigns, @ any company that you can think of that is within the outdoor space that you would like to see sponsor this build. Everything that you can think of. at Mad Catz Rods, at Shakespeare, at Daiwa, at whatever you can think of. Literally, the opportunities are endless for someone to come on board and sponsor this build. Now, when it comes down to it, the end goal, I think, should be White River Rambo road trips. I've kicked that idea around for the longest time, and when it comes down to it, we just have to start doing it. I know literally 3,000 people in the outdoor space, in the archery community and hunting community, that would probably bend over backwards to spend a couple days with me outdoors. So, I need you to share this video and tag every social media entity that you can think of that might be interested in sponsoring this journey. This is nothing new, right? We've been doing this for a very long time. I think it's time. Turkey season and hunting season and fishing season roll around. I'm at a very special spot in my life where I get to go chase critters. And I want to do that on social media. But I can't do it without your help. So if you don't mind, share the video. And I'll see y'all on episode 8. I appreciate y'all. As always, don't forget to wear the personal flotation devices and tree stand harnesses while you're out there chasing God's critters. And I'll see you right here on the next one.